What happened there? But along with that, we've got the usual dispatching of organs and some beautiful timber KOs from this past weekend that you're definitely gonna be hurting while watching. But as always, like you've learned, first things first, we're gonna highlight our fan comment of the week, which I'm annoyed he had this joke because I wish I did when I wrote the script for last week, and if you don't get the Ric Flair flop comparison, well, you clearly never had a WWE phase then, and it was almost spot on to this flop KO from last week, so props to you, Mellow Jojo, for the reference. What is going on, everyone? It's the Casual, Lawton Veerkant, and this is Caposa's Corner. Kicking us off this week, we're heading to Slimenko Fighting Championship 5 in Russia, where we have a middleweight bout that sees Alexander Korshinsky, who has just a 1-2 record, and his opponent, Andrei Pulyaev, has a 2-0. Remember in the intro when I mentioned the dispatching of organs? Well, you're about to see the first one of the week, and it happens just 10 seconds into the second round.
Неплохо. И попал. Попал. И что, еще один нокаут?
Oh boy, between the clap that kick had and then the delay for the pain to set in, I am just glad that I was not the one that had to eat that kick. So, needless to say, Pulyaev obviously secures this win, which does keep his record clean at 3-0, and his first professional fight wasn't until February of this year. So, that means he's racked up 3 wins in just barely 8 months, so I hope this gives him some momentum to keep racking them up and to keep on landing some brutal TKOs just like this one. Now we're gonna head to Open Fighting Championship 24, still in Russia, where we have the main event welterweight title fight that sees current and defending champion Daniil Prikaza with a nice 15-3-2 record, and his challenger Joan Bueno, who has a holy shit 42-16 record. Seriously, every time I see a record like this, I cannot comprehend anyone having that many sanctioned fights. Alright, so do we think Prikaza is going to make a successful first defense of his welterweight strap, or do we think Bueno's 10 years and over double the amount of fights he has on him is gonna be enough to become the new champion?
Выдал. Ответ. Хорош. Все, нокаут.
Well, I guess that question got answered pretty quickly, just 25 seconds into round 1 to be exact. And I know in the live angle it didn't look like that uppercut caught him that cleanly, but take a look from this angle and boom, yep, lights out, and then the few hammer fists at the end really just sealed the deal. That is now 1 successful title defense for Prikaza, which improves his record to 16-3-2, and he is still your Open FC welterweight champion. Time to visit our friends at Brave Combat Federation 62 in Kazakhstan, where we have the lightweight main event between Rolando D, who has an 14-12 record, but did have some UFC experience back in 2017 and 2018, and he's taking on Olzas Eskurayev, who has just a 10-6 record. So this fight actually makes it to the second round, where just 30 seconds in, we go to the ground, where we stay for literally 3 whole minutes, but finally one of these guys is tired of waiting.
Дәл осы гард позициясында қалай да болса тоже қорғанып шығуға болады. Олжас Ескараев, міне, стоп.
Yeah, talk about a brutal ground and pound sequence, and even though not all of them connected, these two towards the end did, and you can just see when D goes out. And although both of these fighters don't have the best of records, this was a very solid second round finish for Eskurayev, which improves his record to 11-6 and hopefully gives him some momentum for the future. Moving on, we're gonna head to Belarusian Fighting Championship 69. Nice. Wait, can I make the same joke 2 weeks in a row? Oh well, where it is time for none other than Caposa's hand-picked submission of the week. Here we have the light heavyweight main event title fight for the vacant belt that sees Pavel Masalski, who has a 12-16 record, and his opponent, Pavel Pahomenko, has just a 2-0, but some experience in IMAF from 2017 and 2018. So we've got the submission of the week. We're in the first round, just nearing the first minute mark, where Masalski shoots for this takedown, but this just might be one of those instant regret moments.
Тогда тэкдаун. Вот, вы видели, все на ваших глазах.
And yeah, I think it was because Pahomenko wasted no time to immediately start going for this buggy choke, and once it's locked in, well, it only took a few seconds to force the tap and put this one to an end. There was that stretch where we saw buggy chokes, I feel like every week, but we haven't in a while, so this was definitely refreshing to see that some fighters still pull this off. And this win does keep Pahomenko's record at a clean 3-0, and he is your new BFC light heavyweight champion. Up next, we're heading to Carpathian Warriors 10 in Poland, where we have a featherweight bout between Lukas Klos with just an 0-1 record, and he's up against Paweł Podkonski sitting at a 5-2. This is a quick one, 5 seconds to be exact, so by now, I mean, you know the drill.
Rzeszów oraz Spartakus Rzeszów. Zaczynam. Whoa!
Yep, one glove touch, a head kick, and a missed hook, and that is all the action that happens in this fight. And I will note that Paweł was down for about a minute, but he does come to and leaves the cage on his own doing. Now, back to that head kick. How in the hell was that not Caposa's KO of the week? Okay, well, don't get ahead of me, but yes, this head kick KO was beautiful and just about as quick as it could have been, and I wish we had more angles to show you, but there was no way this one wasn't making the list this week. So, congrats to Klos on this beautiful first round win and for improving his record to an even 1-1. And for our second fight at Carpathian Warriors 10, I told you not to get ahead of me because now it is time for Caposa's KO of the week. Here we have the co-main event featherweight fight that sees Patrick Ozug, who is just making his professional debut, and he's taking on Merab Mamporia, who has just an 0-1 record. Oh, you all are in for a treat with this one because once we make it to the second round of this one, we're nearing just the 1 minute mark and we are about to get some more incredible violence from this event.
Tak jest, pięknie zatańczył Gruzin.
Yep, you saw that right. A stiff jab to send him backwards, and that space created the distance he needed to get a freaking running start into this flying switch kick directly to the head that just sends him down and out. I don't know what the hell was going on with this event and head kicks, but 2 for 2 is good with me, and a huge congrats to Ozug on this debut win, giving him a 1-0 record and for claiming our KO of the Week award. Next up, we're gonna head to LFA 142 in Brazil, where we have 2 fights to show you. For the first, we have a featherweight bout between Jose Delano, who has a very nice 11-2 record, and he's up against Jair Jesuino, who also has a nice record of 12-1. Okay, perfect. 2 guys, very solid and close records, and this is actually the semifinal round of the LFA featherweight tournament, which will claim a new champion for whoever wins the next round, so we got a lot on the line for both guys. And as we just pass over the halfway mark of round 1, I wonder who's gonna make it to the finals.
Starting to find that Jesse's connection, those cheeks, man, those teeps.
No! Over and out!
And Delano it is via nasty knee to the face and some pretty unnecessary hammer fists at the end. This is another one where the live angle just doesn't do it much justice, but in the replays you can see just boom right when the knee lands, and that is immediately game over. Huge props to Delano though on this win, which improves his record to 12-2, and he is moving on to the finals and can hopefully claim the LFA featherweight belt. For our second fight at LFA 143, why not? Let's go ahead and take a look at Caposa's prospect of the week. So here we have the main event light heavyweight title fight for the vacant belt that sees Willie Senpaiva sitting at an 8-4-1 record, and his opponent Bruno Lopez has a pristine 10-0 record. So both records, neither is bad by any means, but it does seem a little one-sided to a degree, and we do actually end up making it to the second round, but only for a minute and a half until this happens.
Just get the feeling it's a matter of time before
Bruno Lopez.
See that elbow.
And there it might have been. I mean, he's got Paiva backing up on his back. That's gonna do it.
Yeah, an elbow like that I think will wobble just about anyone, and that's exactly what it did here, which sends his opponent retreating, only to be met with a few more follow-up shots against the cage that prompt the ref to finally step in, and we have our winner. So, I obviously mentioned Bruno Lopez in the intro, so let's talk a little bit about why he won Caposa's Prospect of the Week. This win does improve his record to a clean 11-0, and like I mentioned earlier, Lopez began his MMA journey as a welterweight, then went to middleweight, and is now finding a home at light heavyweight, where he has racked up 5 wins in just barely over a year. He was also actually a runner-up for our Prospect of the Week just a few months back, so it's pretty cool to see him score yet another great victory and receive some recognition for his impressive resume. And I sound like a broken record, but with an all-around well skill set, we know the UFC loves to bring on the LFA talent, so that could very well be a next move for Lopez, but until then, congrats on this fantastic win and for being the new LFA light heavyweight champion. Still going, we're gonna check out Ultimate Warrior Challenge 38 in Mexico, where we have another featherweight matchup between Leandro Urquiza with a nice 4-0 record, and his opponent, Esteban Dono, has also a nice 3-0 record. So this one ends up in the third and final round, and in the intro I mentioned we may have a few clips this week that are pretty devastating to some fighters' organs. And well, we've arrived at the next one because just under a minute into this round, well, someone is about to go down in some pain.
What a hard by Leandro Urquiza. Edgard Lopez, referee, looking close. He's gonna finish the fight. Beautiful.
Just some short, snappy body shots, and this final left one lands perfectly on the liver, just absolutely collapsing his opponent to the canvas. I also like this little 1-2 he sneaks in while his opponent is falling because it was totally unnecessary, as you could tell how much pain he was in, but I guess he just wanted to make sure. A very nice win though from Dono, which keeps his record clean at a 4-0. And for our last fight this week, we're heading to Jasaji Fighting League 34, also in Mexico, where we have a middleweight matchup that has Miguel Martinez with just a 1-0 record, and his opponent, Leo Espino, is just making his professional debut. We were blessed with some amazing first-round knockouts this week, so it only makes sense to end the week with one, because just as we near the first-minute mark of this fight, someone is about to go down hard. Yeah, talk about putting some pressure on. Martinez was going for it all, just throwing everything he had in this sequence, but it wasn't until this final right hook that lands just perfectly on the button and sends his opponent flat into the canvas. And while he was out for a little over 2 minutes, he does come to and thankfully stands on his own and seems to be fine after that knockout, so that is definitely a plus. But man, what a KO to end the week on, so congrats to Martinez on the win and for improving his record to a clean 2-0. It's a new month, and the end of the year is slowly creeping up on us, so make sure to leave your comments down below over the next 3 weeks on who your favorite KOs, subs, and prospects are for the month of October so I can keep an ongoing tally and announce the winners here in just a few weeks. And as far as last month is concerned, the numbers are in, and we have this insane spinning wheel kick from Sheikh Mansour Khabibulaev at ACA 143, which in my opinion is still a top contender for KO of the year, but we'll consider that when the time gets closer. And we have this beautiful and also painful scarf hold arm lock submission from Sofia Bagishvili at KSW 74 that definitely resulted in something being broken and or dislocated. And as far as our prospect of the month is concerned, well, that goes to Carlos Mota, who had this clean left hook walk-off KO back at LFA 140, which won him the vacant flyweight belt. So congrats to all of our September winners, and we can't wait to see more from all of you. And as usual, we want to give a huge thanks to Caposa for helping us with these videos, and it's kind of crazy to think we've almost been doing these for 2 years now, so go show him some support by checking out his Twitter at Grabaka_Hitman, and you can also support him by checking out his Patreon at patreon.com/Caposa, and if you want to watch all of these crazy regional fights live, check out his website at GrabakaHitman.com for weekly live schedules and the easiest ways to watch all of them live. And I mean, these videos literally aren't possible if we didn't have all of these amazing regional promotions hosting these events every single week, so we cannot say thank you enough to them. And we want to thank each and every fighter, winners and losers, and we will see you all on the next video. Peace!